gets on his bicycle to go to work again. It's Monday morning, and the money from Friday's check is already spent.
Hi, Kris Ferris here, featured artist. Welcome back, and today we've got Matty Sheets. And Matty's quite a busy guy around the town of Greensboro these days. So, and speaking of busy, I know a lot about your open mic, but give me some of the background on that. Tell me how it got started.
Sure. Well, me and little Mikey Ruhan used to play a bunch of open mics, and you know, some of them are better than others, and there's a lot of like favoritism, and you know,
Really?
like your friends play longer, you know, and we weren't really that good then. Well, he was. I wasn't really that good then. And I think, you know, we were kind of sloppy and silly. And, you know, it'd be like you have 15 minutes or something, and then we play one song, and they're like, okay, you're done. You know?
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Move
a lot
along.
for coming out. And I just felt like an open mic should be actually open and, you know, kind of fair.
Without judgment,
Yeah.
basically? Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's not like Madison Square Garden, you know, it's an open mic. I mean, come on.
And you're not competing for money or a prize or
Yeah,
anything,
right.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big fan of competition when music
Me either.
is involved.
So you took it to Flatiron and said, do you want to do
Yeah.
something here?
Yeah, I was living with Mike Mullins at the time when he was bartending at the Flatiron, and he was thinking about taking the place over, and I was like, you gotta do it, and we'll start an open mic, and it'll be like a fair one, and, you know.
And that was how many years ago?
Almost 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
That's quite a run.
Yep.
You going to keep going?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Excellent. Excellent. So, you're very active musically, but I'm curious to know, go back now and tell me or tell us, was there an aha moment for you when things were, like the light bulb went on and you went off on this road?
As far as music goes?
As far as music goes.
Well, there's a couple, I guess. Well, first of all, when I was 8 years old, I took guitar lessons for a year.
Right.
And I didn't learn anything. Seriously, I think the guy was taking advantage of my parents or something, because I didn't learn a chord.
In a whole year, you never learned a chord?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had worked my way up to the B string, so I had done the high E, and then I was on the B string, doing like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I guess that's supposed to be good to learn. I don't know. I mean, show me a chord, show me some scales, you know, something.
Yes.
I mean, I was 8, I liked Def Leppard and Prince, and I wanted to play that kind of stuff, you know? I had an electric guitar. My folks got me an electric guitar, like a Strat knockoff. You know? And
you were playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Yeah.
There was something wrong with that picture, yeah.
So I eventually quit, and I took up snare drum. I did that for maybe a year, maybe less.
Just snare drum?
Just
like
snare
marching?
drum, like in the band?
Marching drum? Okay.
Not marching, just like ensemble band, or whatever that's called.
Yeah.
But only the best two of the snare drummers could actually play the real snare drum when we played in front of people, like in the auditorium. So I'm sitting there
that
playing.
favoritism going on there again.
Well, no, I mean that makes sense, but I got frustrated because no one could hear what I was playing. You know, like if you mess up on a practice pad, it doesn't. And I messed up, and I was like, and I realized that it didn't matter if I messed up because.
Hey, nobody's head turned or anything, right? So, everybody just kept right on going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I quit that.
Yes.
And then when I was like 16, it was one of those parties in school. I think it was English or something, and you know, you bring cups, you bring soda, you bring chips, you guys bring the music.
Soda, right?
Yeah,
okay.
soda.
Yeah.
This was in school, like in English class.
Oh, in school. Okay.
Yeah.
One of those, we were talking about parties. A weekend party or
no. In the classroom.
Yeah.
And so these two kids bring music, and they end up bringing 2 acoustic guitars, and they played some Neil Young songs. And I'm sitting there watching them, watching their chords and watching what they're doing. Like here, I'm like, I can do that. You know, like I don't know what they're doing here, but I could probably learn that.
I know everything up to the B string at least.
Yeah. I can do a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star solo.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted an acoustic. Oh, also, these guys were total jerks, you know?
Right.
Like, I really didn't like these guys.
Yes.
I was like, well, if they can do it, you know, I don't know. It's just. So I got an acoustic guitar. My parents were very supportive. My parents are always supportive.
Right.
And I just started learning chords and stuff like that. And then I met some guys when I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
I had some culture shock because everyone was wearing cowboy hats and belt buckles and, you know, like blatantly racist and stuff like that. And I was just like, what is happening? So there was these two dudes. One of them had like green hair, and the other one was like looked kind of like that. They had Nirvana T-shirts, you know. And I'm like, well, I got to hang out with these guys.
My people.
Yeah.
I found my people.
And and my friend Oliver Hines taught me how to play guitar in chemistry class by writing stuff down, like Stone Temple Pilots and Nirvana songs, you know. And then I would just practice that all night. And
wow.
I don't know if this is really answering your question, but I have one more aha moment.
Yeah, okay.
It was when I wrote a song. It was about 2004, 2003. I wrote a song where I actually talked about my feelings, you know, in a way. And I was really nervous to play the song. It was at open mic, I'm sure.
Right.
And I got like great response from it, and I was really blown away. And I haven't written songs the same since, you know.
Meaning that upped your game a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah. I was kind of afraid to expose my feelings, you know, and I would write everything really cryptic, so I was the only person who got it, you know.
Or with like sarcasm or humor or something else. Yeah.
And I still do that sometimes, but to really put it out there, I mean, I think that's what people want in a song, you know, to be able to identify with it, and we all go through the same things, you know.
Yeah, there's something about those moments when you actually connect with people that are listening to you. I can understand why that would stay in your brain.
Yeah.
And keep you going.
It was the first time I kind of thought like I should take myself seriously after that, you know. It was big.
But up to that moment, really, it was kind of just what?
Well, I mean,
entertainment for yourself kind of thing.
Kind of. I mean, I never thought I would be this far, you know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to learn guitar because those guys in English class could do it, you know. I mean,
you didn't like them.
Yeah, I didn't like them. I mean, I really just thought it would be fun to learn how to play guitar. I didn't expect to be like be doing what I'm doing now. And little Mikey asked me to back him up at a show at Perks Coffee, I believe, where I met you.
Yeah.
And we practiced for hours, and all I did was copy him exactly. Do exactly the same things that he did. So I played the exact same thing that he did, and I broke a string in like the second song, and flipped the guitar over and like kind of played bongos on it. First person who said anything to me after the show came up to me and was like, "Hey man," and I was like, "Hey." And I thought like maybe we were gonna do a handshake or something, and he was like, "That's really bad for your guitar. You shouldn't do that."
To play percussion on it. Well, that's too bad. I was hoping he was going to say that was really awesome how you took control of the situation.
That was not the case at all.
That's too bad. All right. Well, that leads me to my next question, which is, I just thought you were a guitar player, but apparently there's a whole list of things that you play, or a growing list. What else do you play?
Playing with little Mikey back then, we eventually learned that it was kind of dumb if I just continued to play the exact same thing that he played. So when we got a drummer, it's like, somebody should play bass, and it's not going to be him because he was the lead guy, front guy. So I learned bass, and that's when I learned scales, and then it like really opened my mind up so I could like almost sing, you know, and just understand just understand how music worked better. You know? I was really like lost, or I just didn't know. I just didn't know any of that stuff, and little Mikey just kind of pointed me in the right direction. You know, learning like power chords and playing Nirvana songs was fun, but it didn't really teach me anything about theory or
there's a lot more depth to even the guitar than those power chords. Sure.
Yep.
But I've seen you. Have I seen you with an accordion in your hand?
I can barely play accordion.
I've seen you behind a drum kit.
I'm learning drums now, and I really love it. I'm obsessed with it right now. I have my drumsticks in my bag and my practice pad right now,
right
just in
now.
case.
Do you have a kit?
Yes, I have a kit.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love it. I'm playing with Emily Stewart and the Baby Teeth right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I played with the Painted Skulls. We're kind of on a hiatus now or whatever. And then me and Jess play in the Slow Drivers, two-piece.
Well, that might as well go right into that question because that was further down the list, but I don't care. It's my, it's my show. I can do what I want.
It's your show.
Yeah, I can do what I want.
Hi, I'm here with Kris Ferris. This is his show.
It's my show. So you play multiple instruments, and how many bands are you in? Because you're all over the place, it seems like.
Yes. Well, I played guitar in Come Hell or High Water for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of on a break now because Suzanne just had her second kid, and she doesn't live here. But she's moving back, so hopefully we'll get the band back together eventually. But right now I play in the Blockheads. I play guitar and sing in the Blockheads. I play guitar and drums in the Slow Drivers.
Right.
That's with me and Lil P.
Yeah.
And I play drums with Emily Stewart and the Baby Teeth.
Right. And
then
didn't I just see a trio thing
Well, yeah,
happening?
me and Nathan Myers from the Old One Too and Ben Singer have a little trio. We play just like I call it smooth grooves. It's just
Smooth grooves.
It's just instrumental stuff.
We can hear you on Sunday morning on the radio.
No, I mean it's not that smooth, I guess, but it's like sandpaper-ish grooves.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
But yeah, that's called The Broken Parts. I should probably say that.
Yeah. I just saw the Facebook page. I think it was this morning. Did you do that art, or did somebody else do that?
We did it together, but it's not really like original art.
No, but it's a nice little
Thanks.
look to it. A nice.
Just something we threw together because we were playing a party and we wanted to, gotta have a Facebook page for everything, right?
Broken Parts on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Kris Ferris.
And I'm not, apparently, today. So you've got a brand new CD, right?
Yep.
I think.
There it is.
I have it right here.
Yep.
Can you see that? Should I get closer, or is that too close?
Well, we'll zoom in on it.
It's a new album from the Blockheads. It took us a very long time.
A very long time?
Well, 2 years since we started recording rhythm tracks.
I don't think that's record-breaking. I think
No.
there are some albums that have taken longer, but you
it
kind of
felt
get
like a long
impatient
time.
after a while to get it done, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of editing and mixing to get the sound just right with 7-piece band and a lot of vocals.
Right.
And we experimented with the songs a little bit. I encouraged everyone to sing as much as they could, like even if it's not a song where they normally would sing on, just to see what would happen. And we ended up getting some really cool backup vocal parts from doing it like that.
Kind of spontaneous, organic kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And then there's a second part of one of the songs where we had just barely started playing it, and so we didn't have vocals at all. So that all happened in the studio, and it was fun.
Who are the writers? Are you one of the writers? Or the writer? Oh, excellent. Nice. Like it.
Thanks.
You and I were involved not too long ago in a meeting when they were starting to discuss busking, allowing busking here in town. That was a very interesting meeting.
I agree.
A lot of interesting opinions came out, but I personally have not kept up with where it is now. Do you know? I think there is an ordinance in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know much about it?
Well, during that group meeting, you remember they were coming at it where it was $50 to get a panhandler's license, and that's how you would be able to busk on the streets.
Right.
And we were pointing out the fact that panhandling is not busking; it's completely different.
Because busking is providing something to people rather than just saying, "Give me your money."
Yes, and I've never seen a busker ask anyone for anything.
Right.
So that's a big deal. And I've also never seen a panhandler's permit in anyone's hand who asked me for money. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, it's a little annoying to me that this whole thing is happening. I mean, if you remember from the meeting, I just kept saying it should be free, no permit.
I do remember.
Why do we have to have a permit?
Yes.
I think they brought up the fact that other downtown businesses have permits. I'm like, how is that? How can you make that comparison? I mean, but what they did is, from our meeting, they did drop it down from a $50 panhandler's license to $10 busker's license.
Oh, okay.
But you still have to get the license. You still have to display it.
Right.
I know a guy who plays sax down there all the time, and he gets stopped every day and asks for his thing every day.
Now that there's an ordinance,
now that
especially,
there's an
right?
ordinance.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is it's not about the money. It's not about the having to go get the permit. But to me, it's about people from out of town coming into town, playing a show, and then, you know, they can't go busk at lunch.
Right.
And try and make some lunch money before they go to the next town.
According to the ordinance that's in place now?
Yeah,
there's not a
because
provision for them?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
And they wouldn't be able to, you know, you're not just going to come through town and get a busking ordinance at everywhere
Sure.
you go. I mean,
Call ahead. You know,
yeah,
can I
like
get my buskers
right.
license, please?
So I thought we brought them a lot of solutions, though. One of which was if a band comes through town and plays at a venue, what if the venue had a temporary license, you know, that they could give to their performers, that they could use, or photocopied or something, you know, where they would be protected for that day. Protected. It sounds so crazy.
Sure. They would have authorization to stand out there and play. I think we'll check into that, because I have heard that a business can buy a busking license, and anybody who's working through that business can bus.
Oh, well, that's
them.
awesome.
Right. So maybe it's worth checking into, and
Yeah.
I'll do that on my end. And if I find out anything, I'm not sure which governmental agency. Somebody in the city must know something about that. So we'll check into that. But are you going to get a permit? Are you going to busk?
Probably. Me and a couple people are talking about ways that we could do it. I really want to get the permit to be gone. I'm not really sure how to do it. We're trying to do it the right way. But there's been some ideas of everyone just busking at the same time, like with no permits. And I don't know if that'll work.
You're going to have a buskin.
Yeah.
Well?
I mean, I don't really know. Like I said, my friend gets stopped every day.
Yeah.
I mean, he is black, though, so you never know if that has something to do with it. But
you'd like to think that it doesn't.
I would love to think that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really wish it could just be a thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do it in Nashville, where there's no permit, no fee, no nothing like that. And I haven't heard about some crazy busking crime spree. You know, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Buskers are rampaging the town.
Yeah, what are they going to do? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? I mean, I really don't know.
Officer, he played this horrible song on his guitar and it ruined my life. Yes. It's amazing. Bureaucracy has some benefits, and sometimes it kind of steps in the way of progress and creativity, unfortunately. Well, that'll be interesting. You're going to start a Facebook group, or are you going to get any kind of a grassroots thing
there is like
going?
a Greensboro Street Musicians page.
Yeah.
It's not very active. Somebody came up with this a while ago before they were talking about this ordinance. The thing that's interesting to me is Greensboro seems like they want more arts and they want more cool stuff downtown.
They want to feel progressive, but they don't want to make it happen.
Yeah, to me, this is a good example of that right there. It's like, if you really do want it, then make it easier. You know,
Yeah.
If you really want it, then do it. Like, this is a perfect example of something so simple. Just letting someone play music or dance or do whatever they want to do on the street.
I would say that I agree with you to the point that they also would have to understand that they may be asked to leave or whatever.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, you know, not everybody can do everything on the street.
Sure.
Yeah, so, yeah, if you put that with it, I can see that happening for sure. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see what happens on the busking front. And I will check into the license thing, because I'd like to know for myself as well. Are you still involved with Monkey Whale?
I mean, yes, kind of, but not like, I'm not doing a whole bunch of stuff for them. They're really busy lately.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some commercial work and music videos, and
But at one time you were kind of active with them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, I was an original Monkey Whale member.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll still do soundtrack stuff for them anytime they want it. And I'm pretty sure we're doing the 40-hour film festival again this year.
What's that like?
It's awesome. It's great.
You got four days basically to
2 days.
48. Yeah, I can't count.
Hi, I'm Kris Ferris.
And I can't count. And you're given a concept, is that right? Or do you bring a concept of your own? I'm not quite sure how the process works.
Well, everyone meets at a certain time, and then you
pick something.
You pick a genre,
right,
out of the hat, and then based on that, using that genre, everyone has the same criteria, like a character's name and their occupation, a prop, a line of dialogue, and I feel like there's something else that I'm forgetting. But so everyone has to include all of those things in their film. Yeah. You
got 2 days to make it happen.
Yeah, and you have 2 days, right?
Wow, that's pretty wild.
It is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, I can see why. And you gotta put it out there.
Yeah.
You gotta make it happen. Are you still doing your photography and some of the other stuff that you list as what keeps you poor all the time?
I don't take as much pictures as I used to, just because I'm a lot busier now.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. I mean, I like taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I try and draw sometimes, but I don't do that as much as I want to, as much as I should either.
So I was asking you about the CD covers. You did some of the artwork on this one?
Oh well, I just did the lettering and on the inside there's
this lettering here. Okay.
And on the inside I did an insert.
Mm-hmm.
With lyrics and stuff like that.
I love the back. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's a very cool little image too, and we'll get more pictures of that.
Split up, I've driven the country twice. They're watching my hair, but I'm no dirty. Double crosser, you're just a swimming pool. When I've got some feelings to foster, you're just a swimming pool. Somebody's lazy floor. When I've got some feelings to foster, you built the gears, ready to rubber. Not much good in a bath. And I haven't seen you since the last time you went flat. I've driven the country twice.
Stefan, our keyboard player, did the back and the disc.
Reminds me of a Jules Verne movie, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
So you're being very active, especially like I know you've seen a lot of people come through the Flatiron in your years there, but and the other venues you've been in. Is there anybody currently like on your radar that you're really liking and paying attention to or following?
That comes through.
Well, that plays locally or just even regionally, that you're familiar with.
Well, I'm a big fan of Layla Noor. I met her from the open mic.
Mm-hmm.
Her stuff is really good.
Has she got stuff on a CD? I mean,
I think she's working on it. If she doesn't have it done, then
right,
it's about to be done or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. There's this girl, Kathleen, who comes up to open mic now, plays bass and sings, and it's really nice. And I want to play drums with her whenever we get some time to do that.
Right. So most of the people who are on your radar you're playing with.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Jack Carter and the Armory is one of my favorite bands of all time. They're local.
Right.
The Leaves, one of my favorite bands of all time, and two of them playing the Blockheads with me. I'm very fortunate to know all these people and play with them. And Harrison Barrow, our first keyboard player, now has his own band called the Harry.
Right.
And they're phenomenal. And there's a lot of cool stuff happening around town right now. It's really cool.
No, that's great. These are names that I haven't heard, so it's good for me.
Oh yeah, check them out. They're really fun. But as far as like other stuff, I'm obsessed with Bernard Purdie right now. He's the inventor of the Purdie Shuffle.
Yeah.
Apparently one of the most recorded drummers of all time.
Wow.
Like
Nice.
played with Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Ray Charles. The list is super long. So he's got a lot of funny videos of hip drumming and stuff on YouTube that I've watched way too much.
Way too much.
From that, I kind of got into more funk and soul stuff that I hadn't really listened to seriously.
You trying to emulate his
yeah,
style? Yeah.
Yeah, I play along to funk drums a lot because I just love them. And then there's a whole wave of bands nowadays that are doing stuff like that, like Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, Black Joe Brown, and their bands are so good. It's like these the funk bands. They're so good. I'm really in love with those bands right now.
So that would be the genre you follow the most right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, awesome. Great. We all kind of get into things in our own way, and I can see just from listening to you how your thing has been like, this happened, which led to this, which led to this, which led to this. If somebody said, give my 15-year-old some advice about getting started in music, what would you say to them? Do you have any?
I would say that you're gonna
Don't do what I did.
Yeah. Go back to college.
Really? No, seriously.
Be an accountant.
Yeah. What would you?
I would say to just if it's something that you believe in and you want to do, then keep at it, because you can probably do it. You know, practice a lot and embrace the weird part of you instead of trying to smooth it out and be like everybody else. And don't watch American Idol and none of those shows, you know.
Thank you.
Where it's like the most watered down version of everything is the most celebrated.
Yes.
Like you've interviewed Crystal Bright. Like,
yeah.
I think she's a really good singer. She would not win that show. She wouldn't even probably make it to the audition.
No, probably
because
not.
she sounds quirky. She sounds cool.
She's too far out of the box.
Yeah.
For them, and I think it's beautiful that you said, embrace the weird part of it, because I think creativity in all its forms is really tapping into what mainstream society would like you to keep kind of shut off or whatever. So
that's hard to do when you're young, because you question yourself all the time.
Yes, and you want to please people. I mean, you want people to like you.
Yep.
So it's you're almost having to push up against that all the time. That's great. Do you have long-term music goals, or you just take it a day at a time?
One day at a time.
Yeah.
I really want to be a great drummer, so one day I'll be a great drummer.
All right.
But no, I mean, I just want to keep writing songs and playing music with my friends. I mean, it's the best thing. It's the highlight of my life.
Mm-hmm. Through all these instruments, you've landed on the drums as the thing that brings out the most passion in you.
Oh, well, it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing for a long time, so it's like every now and then. I think that's why I play with a lot of people, because I want to keep. I don't want to just keep doing the same thing, because then I feel like I'll get stagnant or something. Or like I'm not really the kind of songwriter who's like, all right, I got to write 2 songs this week. You know, I've never really been like that. Yeah. I have an idea, and I'm like, I got to get this down, but if I don't have the idea, I'm not gonna force it more often than not. So, but playing music is what gets me through the days. You know, like it's the best thing that I've encountered so far. So, I think I just play with a bunch of different people because I want to keep into it as much as like when I first got into it, I was so excited about everything, you know, and I still have that now, which is really cool, and I don't want to
Yeah,
lose
it
it.
is.
But like for example, I've been playing guitar for a long time. I don't necessarily practice guitar for 4 hours a day. But now that I'm into drums, like I could easily practice for 4 hours a day.
Right.
It flies by.
I can see though.
You know what I mean?
Where what you're doing keeps things kind of fresh. If you're on the guitar all the time, you know, there would be less interest. I understand that. And you kind of answered another question I have, which is what keeps you motivated, because you just said playing music is the thing that, you know, keeps me pushing on.
Yeah.
But if you were, for the drums, if you're going to be a really great drummer, is there a place, is there a gig or a stage or something that you see as kind of making, this is it, I've hit that really great place that I kept thinking about or dreaming about in my brain? Is there something like that?
I mean, not really. Like, I mean, I'm playing with Emily Stewart and the Baby Teeth at the Twin City Rib Fest next month, and I'm like thrilled about that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But no, I mean, I just want to be good enough to be like a kind of drummer that somebody would want in their band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously Emily wants me in her band, but that's because she's being nice, you know. And we're great friends, you know. And
I
all
don't
that
know. We're
stuff.
going to get her in here, and we'll find out if
Well,
she's
good.
really being nice or
Well,
not.
good.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you know, the more bands I've been in and the more time I spend around other musicians and other songwriters and stuff, there's always, I mean, even in this town, there's a shortage of drummers, it seems like, or bass players. I mean, everybody plays guitar, you know.
Yes, we have discovered this to be a true statement.
Keyboards is even harder
Yes.
to find. But like, I feel like if you're a good drummer and you can play well and you know your instrument well, I think you could stay busy. You know, I think you could.
I think you're right.
And also, like, I'm not a big cover band guy. We were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
I'm not a big cover band guy or anything, but if I was on drums, I would be in a cover band. I would do anything. Like, it's a totally different mindset for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about what key you're in or who's going to sing or do
Yeah.
what. I mean, drums is drums, no matter what kind of music it is, almost.
Yeah. And I have a hard time selling someone else's song. That's why I don't do a lot of covers, because I feel like I finally figured out how to sell my own songs. but I'm not really, you know, I'm not really like a great singer. I'm not really I'm not really great at guitar. You know, I'm not really like I don't think I'm ever going to be some kind of virtuoso, you know, kind of musician or
But
anything
you make
like
it
that.
work. I mean, people
make it work,
People
and-
like it. People listen, yeah.
and that's fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna, like I was talking about, it'd be fun to do an Aretha Franklin cover band
Yes.
where I would build the band and I would play drums.
Yes.
Although there's many better drummers for this job.
But you have a passion for it, or you have a drive for it, and a lot of times it's not the amount of talent that makes something happen; it's the amount of energy and force behind the determination.
That's what I'm gonna call my book.
Yeah, determination.
No, whatever you just said.
Oh, okay.
It's not necessarily talent.
Yes. There you go. If it were only for talent, I would still be on the street. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kris Ferris, and this is my show.
All right, well, we're just about to wrap things up, and I just have one more question for you. I'm curious, there's been some stuff starting to come around. I'm hearing the name The Collaborative. Do you know anything about The Collaborative?
I heard about it. At first I thought it was a typo, because it's called The Collaborative.
I know.
But it also sounds really good.
Something like that. Come on.
Well, if you think about it like drums, though,
Yes?
1E and a 2E and a collaborative.
Oh,
Kind of.
it falls right into place. Yeah, no, I like it.
I hear I hear they're putting some shows together, and it should be pretty exciting.
Cool. Well, thanks very much. It was fun talking with you today.
It's fun talking to you.
Matty Sheets, tell them how they can find you.
You could find me on the internet using a computer.
At bazillionbands.com. No.
Yep. I mean, you can search Matty Sheets and the Blockheads. Our website is mattysheetsandtheblockheads.com.
Yes. Trust me, if you Google Matty Sheets, you'll get page after page after page of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
got the lockdown.
MATTYSHEETS.
Right.
Not like the gas station, which we were just talking about a few
Right.
minutes ago. No.
I sold that, and then they had to change.
You
after I
sold it.
Yeah.
And then it went big.
Yeah. I'm not a good business person.
Well, you got a big career in music ahead of you then.
It's not necessarily talent.
There you go. Take care, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike Garrigan and 2 Egrets Studio.
Shouts his orders, but over the waves there's no deciphering. The storm is upon us. Quench the ropes and don't get tossed away.